Other lads, welcome back to the Cossy podcast. My name is Cossy. We'll come back to a brand new video. We have two major breaking stories. One from Fabrizio Romano on Riccardo Calafiori. The other on Mikel Merino. Gonna be diving into those two breaking stories, but majorly it means that Arsenal are now working seriously to get the Mikel Merino deal done, as the player wants to play in the Premier League. So this one is a chance that Arsenal and Mikel have to get their signing done within the next few days. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and let's dive into the latest around this club in the transfer window, because suddenly we have become serious. So according to Fabrizio Romano, he says he understands right now that Arsenal and Bologna are now preparing all the documents for Riccardo Calafiori's deal. 4 more steps to follow in order to close the deal in the next few hours. Medical tests and contract signing will follow as well this week. Everything has been booked. Here we go is incoming very, very soon. So that is Fabrizio Romano on the Riccardo Calafiori deal. And that already shows you that there's been an agreement and a consensus between Basso and Bologna. I think that was the only remaining detail on this deal. I don't think there was anything else that I know of. It was the only remaining detail. If they could agree on the sharing of the money that Arsenal are sending in, then everything was going to be done and dusted. So Fabrizio says that first and foremost, the paperwork has been prepared, and the signing is going to take place this week. He also says that the medicals have been booked and they're going to take place this week as well. And then he will be part of the Arsenal tour in the USA. So we expect to see him as part of the team that will be training in the USA, playing games in the USA. Fabrizio, thank you so much for that big story. And then we can move on to the most exciting story of the day, and that is Mikel Merino. So according to the Marca in Spain, they are saying that Mikel Merino is set to leave for the Premier League this summer. The information they have is that he is leaving 100%, and Mikel Merino really likes Arsenal's environment and project as per Deporte di Cazorro. Now they're also saying that Arsenal midfielder target Mikel Merino doesn't want to join Atletico Madrid, and he is unconvinced about their about their project. Now, this is a story that has come out in the last few minutes as well. And I think there are two things there to focus on when it comes to Mikel Merino. A player who's looking for a good project, but also a player who wants to return to the Premier League. He's been there, and I tell you what, there's so many players that always say, I want to stay in my league, in my country, I want to stay in my league. But there are also so many players that want to travel abroad and play in the Premier League. So what does this mean for Arsenal, and why is this such a big story? So this is a big story for us because, first and foremost, Atletico Madrid have been leading this race for Mikel Merino since day one. And the reason as why they've been leading this race is they were the first to approach the player. They were the first to relay their information and their interest to the player and try to tell him, hey, if you want to join us this summer, we would be interested in signing you. That was before Arsenal came in. That was before Barcelona came in. That was before any other club came in, including the last of Aston Villa. So it was basically, in the start, it was Atletico Madrid versus Real Sociedad. Sociedad were pushing to keep him. They were pulling to keep him, and ATM were pushing to sign him. Then all of a sudden, Barcelona got interested. They got information about the deal, and then it was Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona. And we all thought maybe ATM could fight off Barca, but Barca have a stronghold when it comes to Spanish talents. Then Arsenal got interested. Arsenal registered their interest. This week, we have reached out to the player, given him the information on our project, and I think again, Mikel Arteta, those conversations that he has with players are very, very crucial, because this is a player that Mikel has spoken to on two occasions, right? Twice he's spoken to him one-on-one. Personal conversations that have taken place, and I think that is a key reason as to why we are now getting this kind of reports from Spain, that the player is not convinced about joining Atletico Madrid, as he is unconvinced about their project. So I think Mikel Arteta has shown him where the Arsenal project is coming from, where the Arsenal project is, and where we are going, and what kind of place he would actually play, and what kind of role he would play in the in the team. Now I've been on Twitter, and I think one of my very, very good friends in terms of creating Arsenal content on Twitter has tweeted a very, very good tweet. And he said, Arsenal, she said actually, not he, but she, Arsenal have been very, very hungry for a number 8. I think ever since we had Santi Cazorla, I cannot really say that I have been satisfied with Arsenal's number 8 options. Of course, after Santi Cazorla, then Xhaka came in there, especially under Mikel Arteta, played that role very well. But I think Mikel Merino would be a much better fit for Mikel Arteta in that role, because basically, as at number 8, Mikel is looking for someone who is very, very safe in position, but also looking for a box crusher, someone that is always going to arrive late in the penalty area, or at times not even late, at times even early in the penalty area, and pounce on those chances, because we don't have that traditional centre forward yet. You expect that clubs are not going to be able to pick up on all the bodies in the penalty area for us. And also it means that Arsenal have more players get into the penalty area on the attack. You could have Merino in there, Havertz there, Martinelli there, Saka there, and maybe Martin Odegaard arriving late. So I think what Mikel is looking for, he's looking for that Granit Xhaka, but a better prototype, a better player, a player who is good at creating chances. Mikel Merino is very good at that. I think his passing range his passing range could be at the same level as Xhaka's. His intelligence in terms of IQ, footballing IQ, is better than Xhaka's. In terms of goal scoring, I want to see whether he could do a better job than Granit Xhaka in terms of getting into the penalty area and scoring more goals, because he'll be playing in an Arsenal system that creates a lot of chances. Now, this deal is far away from over. I want to share an update with you that has been shared by Matt Moreto. Again, Matt Moreto is a very, very reliable journalist when it comes to Spanish outlets and news. And he says Mikel Merino wants to make a decision, and this week is going to be very key for his future. However, he has not closed all doors to Atletico Madrid. Yes, despite the fact that he's unconvinced about their project, he's not closing all doors to them. So that information is now 100% crucial for Arsenal. This is a deal where we are 0% safe. Our safety in this deal is at 0%. If we were to rate how safe are we in terms of getting the Mikel Merino deal done, we are like 1% or 0.5% safe, right? Because listen, even if it's not Atletico Madrid, Barcelona are there, Aston Villa are there, and then of course ATM. So I think with ATM, for them, they are willing to wait until other clubs fail, right? They will be willing to wait. They will be willing to look at the personal terms that other clubs are setting, the price that other clubs are setting. We're going to talk about the price because Real Sociedad, according to Ryan Taylor, have set their final asking price, and that's also going to be huge, right? But when it comes to Atletico Madrid, I doubt they will be willing to push and go shoulder to shoulder and head to head with Premier League clubs in terms of salary, in terms of wages, in terms of all that. I think they'll be more willing to sit back and try to convince the player to join them rather than fight off Arsenal or fend off Arsenal, because that may be a little bit difficult. But since the player has doubts on Atletico Madrid, with the Barcelona one, that's a little bit far away, because Barca's priority right now is Nico Williams. By the way, I tell you, Barcelona are trying to sign Nico Williams unchallenged, and they are still, challenged. They're still finding it very difficult to sign Nico Williams, despite the fact that they're trying to get the deal unchallenged. Arsenal, at the moment, feel Barca are in the driving seat for this one. Other teams are basically out of the race, but Barca are still struggling. So I think with Barca, for them, their focus is on Nico Williams. They're going to give it ample time. They're going to give it ample patience. Then after that, they are going to try to sign Dani Olmo. So they want Dani Olmo, 60 million euros, and they want Nico Williams, 60 million euros. That is 120 million euros. I doubt after such an exhausting financial journey of spending money on those two, Barcelona will still have it in their legs to go and sign Mikel Merino. So I think with Mikel Merino, he knows that Barcelona are not their priority, I'm not number one. I'm not number two in terms of the players they want. I'm around number three. And then with Barca, you've got to ask the question, if they sign Dani Olmo and they have Pedri there and they have Gavi there and they have Frankie de Jong there, where is Mikel Merino really going to play? Well, I don't see him play as a DM for Hansi Flick. I think Hansi Flick's football is a little bit explosive and too attack-minded. They might need a proper defensive midfielder. So I don't think Mikel Merino is actually going to be that defensive midfielder. And when I look at his playing style and when I look at his evolution and profile as a player, he is 100% not your DM. He's not even one of these players that you're like, well, he's played as a number 8 for quite a long time. He's now 28, 29. Can he settle? Can he settle as a DM? Can he settle as a defensive midfielder? No, I don't think. I don't think about him in that way. I think he's more of kind of a Toni Kroos. He's more of a Luka Modric. Even when they get older, even when they get as they get older, they still have that attacking bit of their brain working very, very effectively. And I think they prefer to use the experience they have rather than energy that they don't have in terms of executing, play in the final third. So Mikel Merino is not going to become a DM for Barca. And with the number of 8/10s they have in that team, with Dani Olmo coming into the way, I don't think Barca is going to be a problem for Arsenal on this deal. So I think our problem is Villa. Our problem is Atletico Madrid. With Aston Villa, obviously their interest is not yet solidified. So that's why Arsenal have to move quickly. By the time Villa are like, should we go in there? The deal is done. With Atletico Madrid, just overwhelm them. Can we overwhelm them by offering wages and salary they cannot offer? Can we overwhelm them by selling a dream to Mikel Merino that he cannot overcome? Can we overwhelm Atletico Madrid by maybe agreeing this deal at a very, very quick speed? Because that could also be one major reason for us to beat them. If we can agree the deal on top speed, if we can agree the deal, at a major speed, that is another reason for us to win the deal. So, Mikel Merino looks like one player that Arsenal are having blessings and luck on, but also we are doing some work, like I said, and I've reported right today. Personal terms, in terms of negotiations, have already started. We've already started negotiating on the player side. If we can win that battle, in terms of convincing the player, then the price should not be a problem. So I want to talk about the price a little bit, because again today we've got an update that Sociedad are saying 29 million euros. Of course, for Arsenal, we have two things here. This deal is a market opportunity. It should be a market opportunity. I was talking to Glenn last night, and I told him that the reason as to why Arsenal and Mikel Arteta are dying to sign Mikel Merino is to paper over the cracks of the Kai Havertz deal. Kai Havertz signed for Arsenal in the same role and same position that we're trying to sign Mikel Merino last summer. And the understanding for that signing was Declan Rice would play in the number 6 DM, which he can still do very well. But then Martin Odegaard would play in the right-hand space in that midfield, attacking, like number 8. And then Kai Havertz would be on the left half space of the midfield as the number 8. And during the first days of the season, what we were seeing was Kai Havertz playing in that pocket of space, but getting into the penalty area more. And that was Granit Xhaka's role initially. You play in that space, you press, you defend, but then you get in the penalty area a little bit more and you try to score more goals. That's what we saw against in preseason. That's what we saw against Nottingham Forest in the beginning days, and also Fulham. When that didn't work, Mikel Arteta shifted Kai into a forward. That worked. Apart from him being not clinical, the other attributes of a center forward, he's tried to match up. And because of that, Mikel Arteta has now realized I can play Kai Havertz, the mistake, into a center forward, and that would be okay. I can shift Gabriel Jesus into the guy that plays across the forward line, so I can use him at any point in the game. That would be all right. So can we go and sign a Mikel Merino for a chip? So, I mean, it's easy. It's an easy explanation to the board. I am saving you money. I'm saving you a lot of money, right? It's as simple as that. I'm saving us money by getting a cheap number 8 and also shifting the number 8 we signed for 65 million into a center forward. So I think Mikel Merino, for me, this one will happen. I wanted to talk about Dame Sheth on Sky Sports, a little bit of an update on ESR and the rest of the other players that want to leave. He's given us a concrete explanation. Fulham have not given up on signing ESR, and this week they are going to come back with a new offer. Arsenal are preparing to see, to watch him in pre-season and make a decision. But at the moment, Fulham are 100% coming back. And of course, I've given you an update on Edin Ketia. Edin Ketia, has an offer from Marseille, and Marseille have also sent an offer to Arsenal, a loan option with an obligation to buy. Their first offer was, very, very short of what Arsenal expected, but it kind of opened room for negotiation, and that is going on very, very well. See you soon.